You're going to love this interview. Just got done editing it. I'm glad I got it live for you. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes hanging out, answering any questions you have. In fact, leave a comment below about data points or what you think is going to happen to the company, and I will respond to every comment. Additionally, if you're just loving the content, click the thumbs up and I will go and check out your profile as well and give your videos some love as well. In the meantime, enjoy the interview. Hello, everyone. My guest today is Jon Vlachogiannis. He's a serial entrepreneur. This is his third startup, got acquired for a 17x return to investors on his first company. He loves making companies with a little bit of funding, tons of freedom, and small teams. He's an active angel investor, organizer of many tech meetups in LA, and still writes code on his current company, AgentRisk.com, where they let machine learning manage their investments so they can keep building cool stuff. Jon, you ready to take us to the top?
Of course, yeah.
All right. So first off, what was the third startup that you sold?
So the name was Backsense. We were doing mobile error reporting and analytics.
Okay, so this plays in kind of the rainforest QA space, sauce lab space, this kind of automated testing.
It was mostly error reporting, like when your application was crashing, we had an SDK that was collecting data and sending it back to the developers.
I see. Okay, very good. So that company, what year did you sell it?
We sold it for a 17x. The public company that acquired us never disclosed the actual money, but the whole team made some pretty good.
No. What year was that? When did you sell it?
2014.
Okay, and you had how much did your company raise before you sold?
That's a very interesting question. We only raised $100,000.
Okay, so when you say that your startup got a 17x return to your investors, that's pretty easy when you only raised $100,000, right? You just got to return 1.7 million. Great return, by the way. Not undercutting you. Great return. But doesn't necessarily mean that you got really rich from that. How did you manage you and your founding team, your early employees getting liquidity?
So it wasn't that easy because we only gave 10% to the original investors. They only put 100K, and then we broke even after, I think, 6 to 7 months. So 90% of the company was to us, to the founders, or to the engineers.
How many founders were there?
We were 2 founders, and we were in total 9 engineers. So the whole team was like 11 people.
Okay, so 11 people total. And again, if you raised 100K and got your investors a 17x return, that means their 10% portion of the company, they got 1.7 million back from, which would imply a sale price of something like 17 million total. Is that basically right?
Yep.
Very good. So you should be on a cruise ship somewhere, relaxing, doing nothing, right? Well, why not go take a long sabbatical? Why jump back into the startup space?
So I went and worked for the company that acquired us for like 3.5 years, and it was amazing because it was in Silicon Valley and everything. But I got super bored. I wanted to build something new. So
this was Splunk, by the way, right? That acquired you?
Oh, exactly. Yes, this was Splunk. So I got a little bit bored, and I decided to do another company. Sadly, I cannot sit in one place and do nothing. So I have to keep building stuff.
That's so funny. Okay, so when did you launch AgentRisk?
Officially, we started beta testing it in 2015, like with some friends of ours and previous investors, and we launched it in 2018, like we opened it to the public.
Okay, so you write the first line of code in 2015. When did you get your first paying customer?
The first paying customer, 2018, yeah.
Okay, got it. So 2015. Okay, so you did 3 years there. How much money did you guys sink in the company before you got your first dollar of revenue?
Because we were doing it mostly part-time, let's say that nobody was getting paid. So I just put like 10K to start the company, to do through all the legalities. Because the thing with investment is that you have to be regulated. So I had to pass the exams. I'm a registered financial advisor. That took a lot of time. Then we had to find a compliance officer. So the first 2 or 3 years, you need a track record in the investment business. They don't care if you are a successful entrepreneur. They need a track record.
So what was the number? About how much did you guys invest?
Originally, we started with like 10K. We put another 50K. And then we had the previous investors putting more money. And currently, we raised more than $1 million.
Okay, but again, between 2015 and 2018, how much capital did you spend?
$10,000, yeah.
Okay, how do you support a team over 3 years with just $10,000 going out?
Had a very successful exit, as I said before.
That doesn't mean anyone gets money. I mean, when you hire new employees in the new company, they don't get any of that money.
So we didn't hire any new employees. So the employees from the previous company, most of them came to the new company. So they knew that, hey, we had a successful exit. Let's keep doing it.
Okay. Did you have to pay? You must have had to pay to go get your broker's license and put yourself through all these tests.
No, you don't need a broker license. We're an investment company, so you only need the investment advisor's license. And with 10K, you just need to study and just get it.
So you filed tax returns in 2015, 2016, up through 2018. You're telling me if I go look at those tax returns, I'm only going to see across all those years a total of $10,000 of money spent.
Yep.
Okay. Then fast forward to today. You said you raised $1 million total. Okay. And break down kind of like what a customer pays for. So can you talk about a customer that's paying you right now?
Of course. So a customer, he only pays a 1% fee of assets under management. He doesn't need to spend anything else.
Okay. And give me an example of a customer.
Usually customers are from Silicon Valley. They are successful entrepreneurs that have also a successful exit or a very successful business, and they don't like the traditional wealth managers, and they want something like is backed by quantitative by quantitative finance, mathematics, and machine learning.
So, John, are you replacing family offices or like Charles Schwab?
So, family offices, no Charles Schwab.
Okay, got it. So, how many individuals have at least call it $1 million with you? How many customers do you have?
So currently we have more than 23 customers.
Okay.
We started acquiring customers beginning of 2019, promoting the service. And we also started the B2B service to offer our services to other wealth managers and financial advisors.
Okay. What makes you more, but they all pay just 1% of AUM?
Yep.
Okay. So, and there's 23. How many of those 23 are directly wealthy individuals versus someone else you've licensed the tech to?
No, these 23 are only the B2C, are only the actual customers. Yeah.
So you don't have any B2B customers yet?
We have 5, but are in the beta version of the product. The product is still in heavy development.
Ignoring all the beta stuff across these 23 folks, what's your total AUM as a company?
Currently, our total AUM, I think, is around 27 million.
Okay, so 27 million. And obviously you can take 1% of that. It's $270,000 that you guys make annually?
Yep.
Okay. So, how do you scale this? You need to get up to billions in AUM.
And not really, because as I said, our teams are extremely, extremely small and efficient. So currently the team has 8 people, and our break-even point is, I think, around 100 million. Which, if you do the calculations, which I'm pretty sure you're doing right now, it's...
Well, when you say break-even, so how much are you burning today per month?
Currently, we are burning $23,000.
Okay, so not horrible. When did you raise that $1 million?
6 months ago.
So you have cash. You have plenty of runway, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Now, did you have to set up a board when you raised that money?
No, because the money were raised by previous investors and from customers that love the service and hey, I want to put some money in the company. Okay,
got it. What's the team today? So 8 people. How many are engineers?
7 of them are engineers and 1 compliance officer. Okay, so no one doing sales? Nope.
So how are you getting customers today?
Through word of mouth, and the founders, me and Alex, are doing the sales, the hand-holding and all stuff like that. But we don't have an official sales team, and the previous company never had a sales team either. And we had 40,000 customers in the company that got acquired. So I strongly believe in small teams, very efficient, with a huge SaaS presence. I don't like the sales.
That last company, though, what was the average price point that customers paid per month?
So the average price point per month, it was $3,000, something like that. And we had plans starting from $19,000.
So you had 40,000 customers paying $3,000 a month?
Yep.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense. That would be $120 million in monthly recurring revenue.
So the thing is that we are getting customers where the average was 3,000. We had some customers for 19, another customer that had $100,000. So it was a huge long tail and a couple of customers that had a lot of money.
Yeah, but what do you think the average customer paid per month or per year?
Per year actually is a little bit easier. I could say the medium is a little bit better because the average skews a little bit. So I would say the medium would be $20, $50, something like that.
$50 a year?
Yeah, sorry, $50 per month for the medium.
Okay, got it. So yes, about $600 per year.
Yeah.
600 per year times 40,000 customers. That's a $24 million a year business.
Yep.
That's about what it was?
Yep.
And you built all that just on $100,000 raised?
Yep.
Any debt?
No, we only raised the $100,000, no debt. Of course, the challenge we had with the previous company is that the space was getting super crowded. So we were getting squeezed out by companies that raised hundreds of millions of dollars. We were the second most used platform after Google Analytics and Google Error Reporting, but we saw that we were getting squeezed out. And our goal was to go after the big customers, which were more difficult. So we had the long tail, but it was difficult to break into the bigger sales. So we decided to partner with Splunk when they acquired us and go and use their sales team to go after the bigger companies.
But John, is it true to say you were doing about $24 million in a run rate when you sold?
We were closing to that. I think we were close to 14, 16. We had churn rate. We had a lot of partnerships. And we were giving a lot of discounts at that moment. So we have 1 year discount. We're doing all stuff like that.
But why did you sell? So let's say it was 16 million. I mean, you told me earlier you sold for about 17 million. That's just 1x AR. I mean, that's not that great. I mean, it did well for you guys, by the way, because you were basically bootstrapped, but it's not a great multiple for a SaaS company. Why didn't you get a bigger multiple?
So I was thinking about it. The problem is that we saw a huge opportunity in the company that would acquire us. We knew that the salaries that we're going to get were huge. We're 7 digits. We were going to be able to be directors in a huge public company. And at that point, we were 12 Greeks, almost 10 Greeks, and some people we needed to come here in the US. We needed all the structure. We needed, the big company to take care of us and help us break into bigger businesses. So at that moment, and it seemed amazing. And I think we did a very good choice because after that, the space was really shaky. Other companies start going down.
Like what? Name one or two.
So Crashlytics got acquired by Twitter, and then Twitter sold it to Google. They had issues with scaling.
Crashlytics?
Crashlytics.
Crashlytics.
Crashlytics, my Greek accent.
No, I just want to be good. I want to make sure it's good. Okay, fair enough. So you got out of that business, you got some good salaries, et cetera, et cetera. You basically are saying you're good at getting customers without raising a ton of capital, which is great. So let me role play for a second. There's a lot of very rich people that listen to this podcast. Actually, many people have said, Nathan, I think you maybe have the wealthiest audience in the business space because it's basically a bunch of exited SaaS founders and investors. So if they're listening and they give you $1 million, what are you going to do for them? How are you going to make them, money back?
So we are creating a fully diversified portfolio. We deploy option strategies, non-speculative, in order to hedge for market risk or to give them some additional returns. And they have full transparency in what we do, when we do it, and the reasons, of course, behind it. They have the mobile app, the dashboard, 1 day liquidation. They can withdraw their money in 1 day.
What do we have exposure to, though? If I give you $1 million, what typically are you going to give us exposure to?
So only ETFs, and it's everything: commodities, energy, S&P 500, technology, real estate, bonds, municipal bonds.
And why is this better than me putting $1 million in a Vanguard S&P kind of index fund?
This is a very good question. It's not actually better. Personally, I would put the money there. But if you want a better diversification, you should put your money in many, many, many eggs. Just putting it many, many baskets. Just putting it in one fund, as diversified as it can be, it still has a risk. You should even diversify between different ETF providers.
So what IRR are you targeting?
We don't try to beat the market because we're not a hedge fund. But this year, our year to date is 17%. Obviously, because the market is doing great.
Pre-tax, obviously, right?
Pre-tax, obviously. And we do, of course, the tax harvesting, rebalancing. We do also all the standard stuff.
Yeah, really interesting. Okay, very good. That's helpful to understand. So doing about $270,000 a year today, where were you last year? Do you remember?
I don't remember at all. I don't remember.
What was your AUM a year ago?
I think a year ago, we're 10 million, not 8 million AUM.
Okay, so you're doing $80,000 basically in that year.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, very good. So that's good growth. So, I mean, literally the way that you see this scaling for you to get to $1 billion in AUM is you just literally cold calling your wealthy tech friends in San Francisco and LA and just keep bringing them in?
I don't think our target is not to go to $1 billion for the B2C product. Our goal is to use the B2B product to give the product to advisors and then keep growing. Actually, we're using it as a distribution channel instead of going to individuals.
Yep. Interesting. All right. Very good. So talk to me real quick about churn. So any of these people, has anyone put money in with you and they put $1 million in a year ago and now they only have 500,000 with you? Has anyone withdrawn money?
No, they haven't.
Okay. So the only money you're paying out is the 17% interest or 17% returns.
Yeah. But we're not paying them out.
They roll it. Yeah, very good. And are most of them giving you this money out of their kind of SEP IRAs, so it's kind of tax deferred, or are they just giving you, post-tax income?
Post-tax income.
Oh, really? Why wouldn't they not invest in you via their IRA or Roth?
I think they like to select more the aggressive strategies that we have, and they want to put that money there. Like, I think at that moment they consider us, something like a novelty, like, this is a machine learning platform. I'm going to put some money there and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. Okay, good. And it's probably too early to talk about CAC, right? You don't really have a defined go-to-market strategy, so CAC is irrelevant, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Let's wrap up with the famous five. Number one, what's your favorite business book?
This is I actually have two. The one is called Masters of Doom, and it's how the ID software that creators of Doom and Quake started their whole business, and it's like eye-opening. And the other is like a Virgin from Richard Branson, how he started the Virgin brand.
Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I want to say a little bit Bill Gates because I love the way that he created Microsoft, and I'm following him on his newsletter, the books that he proposes, and I love the way that he created like a giant from almost nothing, like for just an idea.
Yep. Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building your company?
I think Intercom. Have to go with Intercom.
And number four, how many hours of sleep are you getting every night?
8 to 9. I'm like very religious about getting like 8.
And how old are you, John?
Sorry?
How old are you?
I'm 38.
38. And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married.
Any kiddos?
No, I'm working on it.
Working on it. Very good. All right, last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
That money is not everything. Definitely, money is not everything. Yeah, try to have as much fun as you can, and money will come at some point.
Guys, there you have it. John, again, sold his first company after raising $100,000 to a larger company, Splunk, for call it around $17 million. They were doing about $16 million in ARR at the time, but the space was going through a lot of chaos. So we got it at the right time, got some nice salaries, nice insights into how to run a big company, then left in 2015 and launched AgentRisk to help wealthy individuals manage their money more effectively and more diversified and, quite frankly, safer. Today, they have 23 individuals and about, about $27 million in terms of AUM currently, as they look to scale this up to go, 100 million, $1 billion, where economics obviously get better in this kind of fintech company, burning $23,000 per month right now and $1 million raised, team of 8. John, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thanks, Nathan.
As you guys know, I fight like heck to get these data points for you from these CEOs that rarely do these kinds of shows. If you want more shows like this, make sure you subscribe right now. We're trying to get 10,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of September here, 2019. And it would mean the world to me if you clicked now to subscribe. Additionally, I've got 2 more great interviews for you. If you want more data points from the world's leading SaaS CEOs, click and watch one of them right now.